Okay, so Louis, let's just tell people who can cross, because that's another question too. They want to know, am I able to come down there? And if I do come down, can I get back? And so there are some restrictions because we are dealing with this situation right now. They want to limit the crossings going back and forth across the border. Hello, everybody. It's Kanoa and Luis here with Baja123.com, and we are doing a border update on today is Friday, May 22nd, 2020, and we actually have a Memorial Day weekend coming up, and we figure we'd give you a border update and let everyone know what's happening at the border. We do actually got a couple of things happening that we think that would be interesting to some people. So good morning, Luis. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Kanoa. I'm doing well, and I'm waiting for us to go back to our new normal. Waiting for the barbershops to open. I definitely need a haircut.
Definitely hitting that Bob's Big Boy look. I think that's really got that whole wave thing going on. I love it, though. You might want to just keep it.
Surfing on my head,
I just cut all my hair off. That's it. That was my second COVID-19 haircut. But
I wish I could just be as brave, just to shave it all off.
I just shaved it all off. I don't care. Put a hat on for the videos, and I guess let's get into the border crossing so we don't waste everyone's time this morning. We'll start telling them what's happening with the borders.
Okay, so I just want to remind everybody that you can get to our border crossing page in Baja123.com, and we have what we call the near real-time border crossing camera, which we're going to go and discuss with you today.
And these cameras are cool because, they don't like us to say real time, but there's like a 10-second delay or something like that. For me, it's a real time. It's as close to real time as anybody's going to get. But you can actually go on these cameras. You can look at San Ysidro and Otay and see what's actually happening at the border right now. So some of the other places you go and they're giving you border crossing times aren't updated or maybe as accurate. There's nothing better than just look to go on these cameras and see what's happening. And these cameras is actually brought to you by bordertraffic.com. We don't get paid by them, but they just gave us the ability to put one of their cameras up or their cameras up on our website to be able to share with you a little bit of what you can get on your mobile app. But these are great things to either come to our website or get the mobile app, and especially if you're crossing the border, so you're not wasting a lot of time.
Exactly. One of the cool things that you guys can see is the San Ysidro border traffic camera and the Otay Mesa border traffic camera, so that you guys get an idea on what the situation is. And wow, look at that. There's a lot of traffic.
And right now it's 10:30 in the morning on Friday, and you can see there's just a ton of traffic. So, this is basically normal for us. This isn't like, this isn't out of the ordinary. I guess what's out of the ordinary right now is that we're in the middle of the pandemic and there's all this traffic. So that would be the only thing that's probably out of the norm. I don't think they have all the lanes open. So they're probably squeezing a lot of people into very few lanes. It does, once again, there is certain restrictions for crossing, which we'll go into in a few minutes. So we get a lot of questions on, who can cross and what are the requirements for crossing. And so we'll go in and explain that to you here in a second. But We just wanted to show you what's actually happening right now at the border.
Right. So we're going to go into the border wait times so that we can give you, as of right now, what are the wait times that we are experiencing at the border. For San Ysidro, the standard lanes, we have 70-minute delay with 2 lanes open. So that's definitely out of the normal. Normally they have more lanes open. Takes a little less to go across, but right now with 2 lanes, you get 70-minute delay.
Okay, now I got a theory about this, Louis, and the theory is that the U.S. government does not want people crossing right now, so they really can't close the borders. I'm sure they could close them if they felt there was a threat that they needed to, but they really don't have that threat to close the borders. They just want to make it as hard as possible for people to cross right now, which is by having 2 lanes open and making these long border wait times. It's just a theory, but I'm just going, it's the best that they can do to discourage people from crossing right now, is just making it as long and as hard as possible to come back into the U.S.
Absolutely. And you can see Ready Lane has 9 lanes open, but there's still a 50-minute delay. So it still takes you, a good amount of time to go across the border, even on Ready Lane. But Sentry is a different story. We have 4 lanes open, and it only takes 15 minutes to go across.
So once again, the Sentry is the way to go, people. Get your Sentry if you're coming down here. Make sure to get that Sentry pass. It's always the fastest way to get across. Right now, what it looks like, they have 9 lanes on the ready lane, 2 lanes on the standard, and 4 lanes on the Sentry, which is, I think, probably only about half the capacity, I think, of the border, maybe
Right.
even less.
Right.
So once they open up to full capacity, we should see those times going down, but I don't expect that to happen until we get through this pandemic.
Exactly. And for pedestrians, really no delay. There's only on the standard, they have 6 lanes open. So there's a 15-minute delay. So if there are people that want to go across walking, it's the best time to do it right now. And these are being refreshed at 10 o'clock in the morning, with the exception of the CBX. Regardless, the CBX is at the airport, so I don't see a lot of people using that as of right now.
And I don't even know if I'm allowed to use the P word. I heard like YouTube is like like anybody's talking about the P word, the pandemic or coronavirus. They're demonetizing. They're putting them down. They're not letting them through. But I've used it already too many times in the video, so I guess it doesn't really matter at this point.
Exactly. Let's take a real quick look at Otay. And in Otay, we can see that the standard lane or the standard lanes have only 1 lane open with a 30-minute delay. The ready lane has 7 lanes open with a 45-minute delay, and Sentry has 2 lanes open with no delay. These were refreshed at 9 o'clock in the morning, so these are a little bit less accurate. But you can see that in the cameras, you can see the amount of lanes that are still open as of right now, and it makes a difference. So there is delays, with ready lane, almost no delays with standard.
And you can find links to these pages. Once again, you can go to Baja123.com. In our main menu, there's a border crossing link on there. Click on that, and it'll give you links to all the government sites. It'll give you links. You'll be able to see the video, the camera, and everything. So if you're not able to remember where to get to this, just go to that page on our website, and you'll be able to find all this stuff.
Yeah, and for pedestrians, real quickly, 15-minute delays and no delays with ready lane for pedestrians. So 2 lanes open for standard, 2 lanes open for ready lanes. However, there is no delay for ready lane, and there is a 15-minute delay for standard pedestrians.
Okay, so Louis, let's just tell people who can cross, because that's another question too. They want to know, am I able to come down there? And if I do come down, can I get back? And so there are some restrictions, because we are dealing with this situation right now, that they have limited, they want to limit the crossings going back and forth across the border. And so they're allowing people that have essential travel to come into Mexico and to go back to the U.S. Now, the definition of essential travel, Louis is going to explain it to you here in a second, but here's what I've been able to see from the groups online. Coming into Mexico, they're not really restricting you as much. They are checking, what you are bringing into Mexico. They're probably doing more checking than they have in the past, but I haven't heard about them turning anybody away that's coming into Mexico. Now, leaving Mexico, going from Mexico to the U.S., I believe that the Border Patrol agents there are checking for, you got to be a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident, and you should have a reason that you're crossing. If you are on a tourist visa, which means if you're a Mexican on a tourist visa that's trying to get into the U.S., they're probably going to turn you around.
Exactly. So one of the things to understand is that this was in effect as of March 21st, 2020. So we already had the restrictions in place since March 21st. The difference is that they extended the effects of this restriction. So the new date is June 22nd, 2020, which is what you can see in the screen. So these have been extended. It doesn't mean that they close the border, and they actually say this action does not prevent U.S. citizens from returning home, which means if you are a U.S. citizen, if you are in Mexico, and if you want to go back home, you're not going to be stopped at the border. You're going to be allowed to go across. But for those non-essential travelers, we are going to have a problem if we're trying to go to the United States.
And there's a huge advantage right now for people that are driving crossing than people are trying to fly. So if you're in a flyaway destination and you're trying to get back to the U.S., I think that you're having a lot harder time than if you're in some of the border cities that you're able to drive across and you are a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident, which you shouldn't have a problem crossing except for the wait times.
Exactly. Right now, this information is actually coming off of the U.S. Embassy and Consulates in Mexico website. So it's the usembassy.gov website, and we're going to leave a link below so you can find it and you can read it on your own. However, I also want to show you what does it mean when they say essential travelers. So they actually posted a Twitter image, or an image in Twitter, and they describe what an essential traveler is for the United States. So the first point is U.S. citizens and lawful permanent residents returning to the United States, they're allowed. Individuals traveling for medical purposes, for example, to receive medical treatment in the U.S., they are allowed. Individuals traveling to attend educational institutions, individuals traveling to conduct essential work in the United States, individuals traveling for emergency response and public health purposes, individuals engage in lawful cross-border trade, individuals engage in official government travel or diplomatic travel, and members of the U.S. Armed Forces and their spouses and children of members of the U.S. Armed Forces returning to the United States, and individuals engage in military-related travel or operations. So all of these people are able to go across the border into the United States without an issue.
Now, I want to say, so if you're a U.S. citizen and you're coming to Mexico because you either own property down here, you have family down here, you have a reason to be coming down here, my suggestion right now is bring some proof, bring an electric bill, bring something that shows that you live down here, get one of your family members or something to email it to you or something, because getting into some of these, if you're going to Ensenada or if you're going to Rosarito, there are some checkpoints where they're asking, are you coming down here because you have a reason to be here, or are you just coming down here to go, to vacation? Because they really want to know that you have a reason to be here. And so I don't know if the checkpoints are up all the time, but I would hate for anybody to get caught in a checkpoint, and it's better to be prepared than not be prepared. So just have some documentation that shows that you have a reason for being down here. Either you have a rental unit, or you have, once again, family, friends, something that would just show them that you're coming down here and you're not just coming down to have margaritas and fish tacos for the weekend. So once again, they're looking for essential travel.
Right, exactly.
Not that there's anything wrong with margaritas and fish tacos. Can't wait till we get back to that world again. But until then, this better be safe than sorry. And just to make your life easier, have that documentation with you.
And once again, we like to let everybody know, from what we have heard, is Mexico is not putting as many restrictions for people coming into Mexico, but they are asking, when you come across the border, they're asking to some people, what is the purpose of your visit? So like I was saying, if you have some sort of proof that you have a property here in Mexico, or that you're coming to do essential business in Mexico, then you're going to be allowed into Mexico. So that's not an issue. And you will be allowed to go back to the United States.
Or maybe you could be coming down to help a family member. We have a lot of baby boomers live down here, and you could be a relative or a family member or a friend that's coming down to assist them through these trying times. Once again, just have something that shows that, and that you're just not coming down for tourism reasons.
Now, speaking of roadblocks and checkpoints, there is a video that I'd like to share with all of you. This is actually coming off of Baja Talk Time. Diego Knight is a member of the Baja Talk Time Facebook group, and he posted this video, and I'm going to play it for a little bit.
Hold on, right before you play it, let me just say, so Diego Knight is actually, this guy's everywhere. He's really doing his best to help the city. So he's put a lot of selfless service out there to help inform people. He's part of the task force that we're a part of to disseminate good, accurate information. He's out there actually in the city filming stuff as it's going on. He's really, somebody that I just have a lot of respect for, and I always have respect for anybody that's trying to bring value to our city and help the city to become better. And this guy's really been going out there and doing his best to do it. So if you're not following Baja Talk Time, go in there, subscribe, follow him. He's always trying to give the best, most accurate information. He really goes out of his way to make sure that the information he's providing to the public is good, accurate information. And once again, we just want to give him some credit for this video. Go ahead and play the video now, Louis.
Thank you.
Greetings, this is Diego Knight from Baja Talk Time. I am at the scenic entrance to Rosarito Beach Hotel, and it is closed. Yes. This is one of two entrances coming from the scenic or toll road into Rosarito. This is the big one close to Rosarito Beach Hotel. They just came to close this one a short time ago. The other one is near the Jersey Dairy Company. That one and this one are closed. The reason for this is that this weekend is a big weekend in the United States, Memorial Day weekend. So it's a 3-day weekend. But here in Rosarito and Tijuana, we're still in the red time. That means we're still picking for coronavirus. cases. And so everything is still closed. The beaches are closed. Restaurants are takeout or delivery. Churches, movie theaters are still closed. We do expect, hopefully, that things will be opening in June 1st.
That's interesting.
So, yeah, I know, isn't it? I mean, he's out there right on the road filming this. Good job, Diego. Thank you so much. The point that he's making right now is that, they've how many off ramps are there to Rosarito? I think there's 4, right, Louis?
There are 4, yes.
Yeah, so there's one main one when you first come in, and then the next one I believe is the Dairy Queen that he's saying is closed.
Well, this is the McDonald's first, and then the Dairy Queen, and then the Rosarito Beach Hotel. So
Okay.
you have the main one, and that one I believe is open, but it does have.
Well, that's not McDonald's. It's actually Walmart, right? It's the Walmart.
Right.
Okay, yeah,
the first
the
one is
Walmart one.
Walmart. The second
Okay.
one is McDonald's. The third
okay.
one is the Dairy Queen, or not the Dairy Queen, but the Dairy Factory, the Jersey.
Right.
And then the fourth one is the Rosarito Beach Hotel, which is what
And
we're
then the
looking
fifth
for.
one is the Pemex.
The fifth one is the Pemex. That one is open. There are no roadblocks in the Pemex one, but there
Right.
is a police small checkpoint asking for people for reasons for them to come and visit Rosarito.
Now, we just want to be clear that they just put this up, and we believe and we're hoping that this was just put up because it's a Memorial Day weekend, and they're wanting to make sure that we're not overloading our city with people coming from all around, because it's probably getting pretty hot in some of those other places like Mexicali and Tecate, and some of those places. It's probably going to be a really warm weekend, and they're discouraging people because the beaches are closed and it's essential travel only. We haven't come off the lockdown yet, and we're going to hopefully come off on June 1st, like Diego said. What that means, we'll let you guys know as we come off it. But for right now, if you have essential travel, you can get into Rosarito. But if not, you know what? They're not going to make it too easy for you. And be careful, because some of the off ramps are not available right now.
Exactly. That was awesome. I really like the way that Diego is filming all of this and is informing the community. So good job, Diego.
Yeah, thank you, Diego, very much. And if you want to watch that full video, just go ahead and Baja Talk Time, and you can click on it and watch, and Diego talks a little bit more about what's going on with the city.
And we're going to share the links down below in the comment section, so for everybody to find all of this information that is very useful.
So we hope everybody has a great Memorial weekend, and we hope everyone stays safe and healthy, and we get, we're going to work together to get through all of this, and we can get back to, like we said, the margaritas and fish tacos and getting back on the beach. And we are hoping that we get those beaches opened as soon as possible, especially coming around June. We're getting some sunny days. We got some of the best weather here in Rosarito Beach, and it just is absolutely beautiful, and we can't wait to get back out on the beaches.
Absolutely. If you guys like this video and you believe that this video is going to work for somebody that's coming across the border or leaving Mexico back into the United States, we ask you that you share this video with your friends and family because it's going to be useful for them. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more video updates. Yeah, the best thing you guys can do for us is share this video. Share it with as many people as you can, and let's get the message out. And everyone, have a great Memorial weekend, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching our video. If you're planning on buying real estate in the Rosarito Beach area, make sure to give us a call. Have a great day, everybody.